Good morning to everyone. It's Monday. Trying to make the start of a new week something awesome. What I'm going to be doing today is, in preparation for the yard being finished, we started playing out kind of the space, and we're going to be doing a germination test of grass seed. Now, basically what I got here is just a rake. I'm going to rake a spot, put some lines in it, move these boards over there. I got some plastic to trap in the moisture and some topsoil for half of a test. Now, I'm going to see how well standard sand germinates the grass seed versus, it's a bad idea to step in a red anthill, versus topsoil, which says promotes germination, yada yada. So, here goes. So the seed we have here, let's see if I can even focus on that. Shining Star Perennial Ryegrass, 22%. Manhattan Perennial Rye, 26%. Exacta 2 Perennial Rye, 25%. Creeping Red Fescue, 10%. Famous Kentucky Bluegrass, 3%. Wild Horse Kentucky Bluegrass, 6%. Barren Kentucky Blue, 5%. And random other stuff. Okay. Now, I have no idea how much of this to actually seed, but we'll just give it a try. Who knows? Okay, here. I'm just going to do like one handful on one side, a handful on the other side. Okay, that's probably the worst distribution ever. I'll have to like sift it around or something like this. Okay, maybe a little more over here. I'm just going to use it like a salt and pepper shaker, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this is much better. It's much better coverage. Nice and even. Alright, I'm sure that's way too much grass for this tiny area, but I just want to see how it looks. If I'm going to be planting a huge area of it, might as well do some sort of test just to see what's up, right? Whew, okay, I got the grass seed down. Now I'm going to designate half of the area to be covered with topsoil, the other half with sand. I imagine grass seed doesn't need too much coverage, but we'll see what we can get. Topsoil is also notorious for having tons of random junk in it. I'm hoping this isn't that terrible of topsoil. So just trying to cover the seed just a little bit. So I'm just going to grab a handful and just kind of rub my hands together, which kind of sifts it out. Doesn't drop it in giant clumps and kind of helps with the impact on the seed. Okay. Okay. No idea what that is. That's probably enough, I imagine, but let me just give it another good go here. Okay. that's done. Now, this other stuff, I suppose, we'll just grab some sand and just kind of (3D) print a top layer. All right. Just falling like one of those old sand timekeepers out of my fingers. Can go like this too, I guess. This is where I'm worried about other random stuff popping in, because I mean, this is just the sand from everywhere else. Probably has tumbleweed seeds and stuff. So in all likelihood, both of them are going to have competition issues with local BS from the soil. It's only 9. It's already way too hot to do this. Okay, there we go. You couldn't tell that there's stuff there, I guess. Unless you knew. That's good. Okay. Test is good to go. Now I need to water it. Alright, well, this seems to be plenty covered. That one seems to be plenty covered. The last video's autofocus looked weird when I pressed stop. I hope that even if it's blurry, my audio came clearly, because there's not much to see. Just cover and seed with different soil types. Now that I have that completed though, it's time to come and water everything. I'm looking around for a water container or something. Gonna have to, I got one. Something like this will probably do just fine. It just has a little kelp juice left over. Not a big deal. I'm just right behind the camera at the IBC. Well, that kelp juice is pressurized. Jeez. Anyways, filling up the container. More. I don't know how much you're supposed to soak it with to begin with, but a good amount, I imagine. The plastic hopefully keeps some of the moisture in. That's the whole point of it. I don't know how successful I'd be if I didn't have that plastic. I imagine not very. It's been very hot out here. Alright, so got the thingy. Start building up pressure. Alright, let's see how this is going here. Alright, cool. Clogged already. Come on. Jeez. Sometimes that kelp juice gets a bunch of random junk in this nozzle, and it is very annoying to fix because, yeah. Let's see about this. Just we'll have to flood it, I suppose. Whatever. A finer mist would be better, but at this point I'll take what I can get. This is probably one of the most important steps, is the initial watering. Germination is tricky outside, especially in the wrong part of the season, i.e. the hot of the summer right now. You just got to make sure that it's soaked and that it stays soaked for a few days, because if you soak it and then the seed starts to crack open and then it gets dried out, that thing's done, totally dead, it's over. But if you can manage to keep it moist for those few days so that it can just get a little bit of root, it's a lot easier. So this is just a gallon container that I'm using, so I'm going to put 1 whole gallon on each of these little squares to make sure that they're equally hydrated. Hello, puppy. Back up. Test area. I see you went in the pool. Alright, that's the halfway mark. Because there's kelp juice in this, so when I refill there won't be, I don't want to put kelp juice on one side and not kelp juice on the other, so I'm going to split the tank. Hey, look out! Wow, look at the soil types. It just totally beads up. It's going to take a minute to soak this sand through. It's very afraid of water right now. It has no moisture at all. It's totally, totally dry. I may need that fine mist after all. That's why I'm putting this back on here. The finer the mist, the less chance of it beating off. Already clogged it again. Wow. Note to self, never use kelp again, ever, in this thing, because my god, it's ridiculous. It's like tons of sand particles too. What the heck? Yep. There's tons of little sand. This thing has been outside for like a year. Not surprising. Alright, here we go again. Clogged again. This is just a nightmare, basically. Alright, well, this is going to be the longest part of this thing, is me fighting with this hilarious joke of a thing. There we go. You see how it just reveals dry. Oh yeah, okay. Empty? Empty. Alright, next gallon. And then we'll be good to put the plastic on. It's moving the seed around no matter what I do, because the sand just flows. Because there's no moisture pretty much everywhere. That's half. Let's do this other half now. So if we look over here, all the seed has like fallen over here. I'm just going to try to mix it in with the top layer, or I'm going to lose it. How weird. It's formed like a muddy skin, but if I just go right underneath, it's totally dry. It's a very bizarre feeling. Okay. The sand is soaked, the water is soaked in the top layer. As good as I guess it's gonna get. Same with over, ouch. Same with over here, just gotta kind of okie dokie. Longer one direction. Nope. Alright. Scissors back. Alright, now I'm going to go grab some boards. Alright, now to find some other ones and cover it all up. And I'm going to walk away, and that'll be the test for today. Just trying to seal down this edge here. Alright, that's pretty much that. Might as well put a little here on the edges just so it doesn't, mess with anything. I don't really want to do much anyways. I'm pretty much going to come back and just check this in a few days. If we get it locked down enough, it should just trap all the moisture that's there. That's the hope. Wow. Don't use old shovels. I got like 12 splinters in my hand. That's that. We'll come back in a few days and hopefully it's done something. So it's raining. Don't have a way to give these water at all also. I was thinking of just trying to leave it for 3 days, but I realized that it's surrounded by a giant dry sponge, so it'll probably suck any moisture out that's there. I just kind of wide off right here. Added a drip line coming this direction, and then just made a hole and have in the center of each test a single drip emitter. And I totally screwed myself with the sand everywhere, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to stab this line underneath there so I can get it dripped. Okay. Wow, it's like a sauna in here. Here, over. I got it. Hang on. It should be right about there. There's the emitter. It's sideways, should be good. Great. There we go. Pardon me. Now I'm going to turn it on. I hear air spitting out of it. I'll just let it run for a few. And then that should do it. Water's coming out of it? Excellent. Alright, we'll come back in a few days.